Guruve Gaura Chandraya Radhikaya Tadale. Guruve Gaura Chandraya Radhikaya Tadale. Krishna Krishna Bhaktaya Tadabhaktaya Namo Namaha. Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripasyanubhyevacha. Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadha Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktabinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. First of all, I offer pranams to our Gurudev, Om Vishnupad Vidandi Swami Sri Bhaktivedanta Narayan Gosai Maharaj, our Shiksha Guru Sri Gaur Govind Maharaj, Sri Bhaktivedanta Madhusudan Maharaj, all Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis. Hare Krishna. So, glad to see everyone here. And today we'll try and finish this 32nd chapter of Jaiva-Dharma, Madhura-rasa-vicara, the Parakiya-nayikas. So in this chapter we hear about the 96 moods of Krishna, 96 moods of Krishna as the Nayak, as the hero, and the more than 360 different types of Nayakas, female heroes. Okay? You can understand how much variety is there in this Krishna Lila. Okay, so remember we heard about the dream of Brajanath. He had a question about the gopis are Krishna's own potency, so how can they be called Parakiya or belonging to someone else? So he thought he would ask Gurudev next day, but in dream he saw Gopal Guru Goswami answering everything. And there was big discussion about the non-difference of Golok and Gokul, how the spiritual world has come here to this world. In this world it's known as Gokul, and in the spiritual world it's known as Golok. There's no difference, but only difference in perception according to the qualification of the sadhak. So all that we heard. So, Vijay asked, I have many questions according to what I'm reading in Ujjvala Nilamani. There are 4 types of heroes, right? That is Anukul, Dakshin, Sat, and Drist. And we will hear one by one the explanation of that. Okay. So Anukul is here, that hero, but we'll just say Krishna. When Krishna gives up the desire to be with anyone else, and he has his attachment only to one Nayak, that is Anukul Nayak. Okay? When he has no, like for example for us, we are in the group of Radhika. So when Krishna gives up attachment to any other gopi and only completely favorable to Radhika's seva, that is Anukul Nayak. Dakshin. Okay, so these 4, Anukul, Dakshin, Sat, and Drist. Okay, they also in combination with the 4 types of heroes we heard a few chapters before. Right? That is the Dhirodhat, the Dhirshant, and Dhilalit. So there's 4, each one is experienced in 4 ways. So that is 16 ways, 16 moods of Krishna. So Dhirodhat we heard already. Okay, what is this symptom? Anyway, you can read this, but I think no need to too much go in. That's how much we will understand. But these 4, each have 4, so there is 16. Okay, so Anukula is when Krishna gives up attachment to anyone else and only attached to one beloved. Okay, there is the Dhirodhat. Okay. Oh, Dakshin means simple and honest. That means Krishna gives respect to all equally, like in the Ras Lila. Krishna danced equally with each gopi. That is called Dakshin. Sat means even the presence of his beloved, the hero still has attachment to others. Therefore, he secretly commits grave offenses by acting in an unloving manner behind her back. That is Sat. And Drist. That means even though he's been with other beloveds, he don't care. Even though the symptoms of meeting with that beloved is on his body, he don't care for the opinion of anyone else. So these four moods of Krishna, Anukul, Dakshin, Sat, and Drist. So these four, going with the four, is 16. Krishna does his pastimes in three places: Braj, Brindavan, Mathura, and Dwarka. That is 3. And Krishna has 2 moods, Pati and Upapati, when he's married and when he is unmarried. So 2 Pati Upapati times 3, Krishna in Braj, Krishna in Mathura, Krishna in Dwarka. 2 times 3 times 4, right? 4 types of heroes. That is Dhirodat, Dhirodhat, Dhirshant, and Dhilalit. And each one of these also have 4. That is Anukul, Dakshin, Sat, and Drist. So what's that? 2 times 3 times 4 times 4 is 96. 96 type of Nayak. 96 type of hero. Okay. So very astonishing. So how many assistants that Nayak has, that hero has? There are 5 assistants to Krishna. Okay, we'll just make, of course, this can be to Ram. So this can be to any Nayak, but to make it easy, we'll just understand it's speaking about Krishna. So Krishna has 5 assistants. They're called Cheta, Vita, Vidushak, Pitamardan, and Priyanarmasaka. So the hero Krishna, he takes help of these 5 assistants to meet with the gopis, because this is Madhura-rasa-vicara. Discussion on the conjugal mellow with Krishna as the object. So Krishna has 5 assistants. These 5 assistants are all expert in joking. They're intensely devoted to Krishna with anurag. They know how to act according to time, place, and circumstance. They're very expert at pleasing the gopis when they become angry. Okay? So Krishna needs plenty of help in that regard. Right. So they're expert at, what are the chetas? The first of the 5 assistants of Krishna. They're expert at discovering any confidential subject matter. They perform secret tasks. In Gokul, they're known as Bhangur and Bringha. These 2, like servants of Krishna, but especially assisting in conjugal mood. The Vitas are devotees such as Kadara and Bharati Banda. They're very expert in dressing Krishna and decorating him. They're very intelligent, cunning, expert in conversation, and can manipulate others. Who are the Vidusaks? The Vidusaks are fond of eating and quarreling. They make others laugh by their words and dress. Madhumangal and Vasant are such Vidusaks. In English we say clown, but of course they're not clowns. Their moods are deeper than millions of oceans. Pitamadan means his all qualities are just like Krishna, but still he acts as assistants. We'll hear like Laliti Vishaka, their qualities can be Uteshwaris, but they give up that position to serve Radhika. So the female version of that is Pitamada, sorry. And the Priyanarmasaka, Sridham is an example. Okay. The Priyanarmasakas, they're very confidential servants. They've taken shelter of the mood of the gopis, of the bhav of the Sakis. Therefore, Rupa Goswami said, Madhura Bhava Bhavita, the Priyanarmasakis are absorbed in Madhura Ras. Subala and Arjuna are prominent amongst Krishna's Priyanarmasakas. They're the best of all these five. So these five, Cheta, Vita, Vidusak, Pitamardan, and the Priyanamasakas, right? The Chetas are in Dasiras, but not ordinary das, because in Braj there's no pure Dasya. That Dasya are mixed with other rasas. Here is mixed with Madhura-rasa. The Pitamardans are Vedaras, the rest are Sakiras. The Chetas, another four are Sakas. And Krishna has also some female messengers. There are two types, Swayam Duti and Apta Duti. Swayam means belonging to oneself. Krishna's glance and flute playing. These are Swayam Dutis, messengers, but Krishna himself using his glance and flute sound as messenger to give some mood to the gopis. And Apta Dutis, Vira and Brinda. Vira, these are female assistants of Krishna who give messages. Vira is very bold, and Brinda Devi very expert at flattery. Okay. So there are other categories we will hear later. Vijay said, I've understood the mood and attributes of Krishna as a Nayak. I have heard Krishna performs Nitya Lila as both Pati and Upapati. In Braj, he performs mostly pastimes as unmarried hero, and in Mathura Dwarka, he performs pastimes as married. Okay. Our Krishna is Upapati. So we should know about the charming young girls of Braj. Okay. So now we will hear about the 360 types of female ladies, female beloveds of Krishna. Okay. So be patient. Okay. So most of the girls whom Krishna performs pastimes in Braj are Parakiya-rasa. But Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in his Ujjvala Nilamani Kiran, he describes everything is in Braj, so Swakiya is also in Braj. For example, Krishna married some girls, how? Just by giving flower garland. Right? So this looks like Swakiya, but actually this marriage is a bit illegal. No? Because no fire yagya, no Brahmins, no parents, so just flower garland. So Swakiya looks like, but actually mood is Parakiya. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur describes this. So, because without Parakiya Bhav, there is no full development of Madhura-rasa. So in Braj, that Jaya Jaya Ujjvala Rasa Sarva Rasa Sa Parakiya Bhava Jaha Brajata Pracha. In Braj, everyone is Parakiya. And if there is some also Swakiya, that is just by name. Okay. So, why this has occurred? Why the gopis are married to other men? Then Rudra describes two two weapons of Cupid. If a woman is very difficult to attain, then when you attain her, this also give one taste, and the attempts to attain her give one extraordinary taste. And also the contrary moods of women. Of course, we should not use any mundane logic from our mundane experience, no? But still, at the end of the day, material rasa is also just a reflection of the reality, no? So Chanakya Pandit says, when there is obstacles to meet the beloved, that gives more taste, that gives a great happiness, right? So for that reason, to increase that happiness of Krishna, Yogamaya arranged the marriage of the gopis, and they meet with Krishna, and Krishna is in Upapati Bhav, and the gopis in Parakiya-rasa. To increase the taste of Krishna, must be for gopis also, no? Okay, therefore, in other words, we should, if we want to enter this Krishna Lila, we should not try to enter thinking ourselves as Krishna, of course, but we should enter thinking ourselves as gopis, as devotees. What is Gopi Bhav? Right? What is Gopi Bhav? So Krishna in Madhura-rasa, he never performs pastimes with anyone else except with Braja Gopis. So sadhak who is eligible for the mood for Shringar Ras, Madhura Ras, should contemplate one should contemplate oneself as being a Braja Gopi, following in the footsteps of the gopis. Means one should think of the same mood the gopis have to Krishna. So for that you have to think yourself as a gopi. In the course of one's bhajan, the sadhak should meditate on himself as a Braja Gopi. The sadhak should consider themselves a maidservant of some extremely fortunate Brajvasini, right? As the Lalita, in this case, in our line of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, as a maidservant of Lalita, and should, under her guidance, render service to Radha Krishna. One cannot possibly awaken Ras unless oneself considers oneself a Paroda. Paroda we heard before, that means a married woman. Okay. Therefore, Lakshmi refused to accept this mood of being married to a Gopa, therefore she could not enter Madhura-rasa, Parakiya-bhav, or the pastimes of Vrindavan. So, okay, it's described those gopis never have physical contact with their husbands, because these husbands are all manifestations of Yogamaya. We heard this. This is called Abhiman. Right? Their marriages are also nothing but a conviction created by Yogamaya. The gopis are not actually married to other men. My God, some sickness coming. But Yogamaya makes this conception within the heart of the gopis, I am married to someone else. No? If it were not so, then very hard, then the durlabhata, the difficulty that Krishna finds to meet the gopis, would not be present. Also, it gives so many other moods like contrariness, fear, right? This give a taste. But now we cannot understand. As we do bhajan, we will understand. No, Srila Sridhar Maharaj gave a nice example. In time of peace, a loaf of bread cost how much? $1. But in time of war, in great scarcity, that same bread, maybe you purchase for $500. And when you get that piece of bread, how it feels, like nectar. So when something is difficult to attain, then there's extraordinary happiness when you attain it. For that reason, Yogamaya arranged these old moods. Okay, so Paroda, what is Paroda Bhav? Paroda Bhav is when a gopi thinks a sadhak thinks I'm a gopi married to another man. So Gopi Bhav means to attribute to oneself the mood of being a gopa's wife who has not yet given birth to a child. Here the word is used arope. Arope means to superimpose. Okay? To pretend. Okay, this is not a good word because pretend means some imagination. So in the stage of sadhan, one has not realized directly one's surup, for example, as a gopi, but he has greed to attain that mood. So to attain that mood, he superimposes this mood upon himself. But it's not imagination. These things come naturally and spontaneously and in a real manner at the stage of asakti and matures at the stage of bhav. So we use arope, but we should understand in what context that word is used. So the sadhak gopi bhav means to attribute to oneself the mood of being a gopa's wife who has not yet given birth to a child. So if one is a male, how can one think of oneself as this? Okay, so Gopal Guru Goswami says, in this world one thinks I'm male and female due to the illusion. No, but actually all are female. No, in Tattva all souls are female. Means to be enjoyed by Krishna. But so when the sadhak can attain eligibility to be a Brajvasini, when he is impelled by Swabhav, Swabhav means the nature of the soul itself, and this steadfast Abhiman, I'm maidservant of Radhika, okay? Only those who have ruchi for Madhura Rasa are eligible for this type of mood. if one performs sadhana according to one's inherent ruchi or taste, one will achieve that state at the time of perfection. Okay. How many types of Braj Gopis are there? There are 3 types: Sadhanpada, Devi, and Nityapriya. How many types? 3. Sadhanpada, Devi, and Nityapriya. What is Sadhanpada? Means those who have become gopis by sadhana, by spiritual practice. Okay, there are 2 types of Sadhanpada: Yotiki and Ayotiki. Yotiki means belonging to a specific group. Ayotiki means not belonging to a specific group. Okay, so Yotiki also 2 types: Munigan, Upanishadgan. Okay, so 3 types of Braj Gopis: Sadhanpada, Devi, and Nityapriya. Okay, Chidananda late as usual. So the Sadhanpada Sundaris, these also 2 types: Yutiki and Ayutiki. Yutiki also 2 types: Munigan and Upanishadgan. What is Munigan? For example, there are some Rishi Munis who are doing bhajan. Then in the forest, they were chanting Gopal mantra. They saw Lord Ram in the forest. Then a very strong desire came to be with Ram in conjugal mood, but that is not possible because the nature of Ram Leela is not like that. No? So they prayed to Ram, who gave them blessings. He was pleased by them. He gave them blessings that they could take. Okay, Hare Krishna. Okay, Haribol, we're trying again. Internet cut out. So I don't know how much you heard, but 3 types of Braja Gopis: Sadhanpada, Devi, and Nityapriya. The Sadhanpada Gopis, 2 types: Yutiki and Ayutiki, with group and without group. Those with group, 2 types: those who were Munis and those who were Upanishads. Okay, and Ayutiki also 2 types: Prachin and Naveen. Naveen, Prachin means old, that means long time ago they achieved perfection. And Naveen means by doing bhajan, now they just entered the past times. Okay. The Prachin and Yutiki Gopis, those old, Prachin means ancient. They achieved the liberation of being on the same planet with Krishna a long time ago. Right. Together with the 3rd type of gopis, the Nityapriya Gopis. Okay. The Navina Yutiki Gopis came to Braj by taking birth in the species of devas, humans, and other beings. They gradually became Prachin and achieved Salokia in the same way as the other type of gopis. Means, in simple language, 2 type of Ayutiki Gopis, those who achieved perfection, billions of years ago, and those who are just achieved now. But ultimately both achieve the same destination. Okay, hope everyone's tuning into the new class. Let's see, probably we lost a few people. Okay, still 20 watching. So, tell Damayanti to go away. Okay, so then the other type of Sadhanpada is 1 type, another type is Devi. No? Devi means when Krishna appears on any other planet, for example, when he appeared in the form of Bhamandev, when he appears in the heavenly planets, that time some ladies of those heavenly planets became attracted to the beauty of Bhagavan. So they desired to approach him in Madhura-rasa, so they also took birth as gopis. Okay? Very simple, that not so easy to understand, that not so difficult to understand. So also here, Gayatri. Gayatri, who is Veda Mata, the mother of the Vedas, she also took birth as a gopi to get Krishna's association. So she performed sadhana and she became Kam Gayatri. Okay, just like ordinary Brahmanas and also Vaishnavas, we also chant this Brahma Gayatri. But Brahma Gayatri in a mature form, that is called Kam Gayatri. Ras Atmik, Gurudev would say. So what to speak of the Upanishads being attracted by Krishna's sweetness? Even Veda Mata, the mother of the Vedas, also became attracted. So she did sadhana, took another form, that is Kam Gayatri. So that is all displayed. Another Gopal Upanishad also did the same thing. So all those Upanishads, they have now taken birth in Krishna Lila. They all had the feeling we are the daughters of some Gopas. They accepted Krishna as their husband in Parakiya-rasa. At that time they accepted Krishna as their husband. How? The Gandharva marriage. As we explained before, that is not real marriage. So still feeling of Parakiya is there. Okay. So, Vijay asked, is this also not a type of illusion? To think Krishna is, I am married to another Gopa, Krishna is my paramour. So Goswami said, yes, it is also a type of illusion, a creation of Maya, but not material illusion, not Jada Maya, not Sattva, Raja and Tama. Okay? Because that can never touch Krishna's Leela or the liberated souls. This is all done under the jurisdiction of the Chit Shakti or Yoga Maya. Okay, so in simple language, good Maya, bad Maya. Maya means illusion, that which is not. So those souls who are against Krishna, they become captured by Jar Maya, Mahamaya, Vishnu Maya, also she's called, and they suffer. Everyone can hear all this, right? So they suffer horribly, and they go through the 8,400,000 different species. So that is Mahamaya. But the souls who are favorable to Krishna's seva, they also under illusion, but that illusion is sweet. That illusion gives so much happiness. That is called, Yoga Maya. And that is not under the spell of the illusion, the material illusion energy. That is the spiritual, all-deluding potency. And yoga means to join, which joins you to Krishna. So, good Maya and bad Maya, for want of a better word. Okay. Yoga Maya brings to Vrindavan the Paroda Bhav of Golok with each of the Nityapriyas, the eternal associates. Okay. So Yoga Maya works astonishingly. And she creates all these feelings in the mind of Krishna, also in the mind of the gopis. So Krishna is the all-omniscient Purush, the omniscient personality. But Krishna has so much trust in Yoga Maya that he enabled himself to be bewildered by his own potency. But Yoga Maya never misused that potency. Everything she do for Krishna's happiness. Therefore, how Krishna could be an illusion, did at the same time being omniscient and all-knowing, as we hear again and again in Jaiva-Dharma, that is Krishna. Krishna possesses a Chinta Shakti in which impossible and oh God, I forgot my English. Krishna possesses the potency to reconcile completely opposite qualities within his Sarup. So Krishna can be all-knowing and omniscient at the same time, be bewildered. That is Krishna's pastimes. Okay. So, how possible? Krishna wants. So his Isha Shakti make the impossible possible, that Krishna can also be bewildered by his own spiritual potency. But when necessary, Krishna can also know everything also. Okay. So, but this feeling is not in Dwarka or Mathura, that's feeling only in Vrindavan. So Nitya Priya, the third type of gopis, means I think here is pretty much saying the eternal associates. Nitya Priya. Okay. This is very much astonishing. Please explain to me the Nitya Priya gopis, right? So three type of Braja gopis, those who achieve perfection by sadhana, spiritual practice. Those who achieved because they met Krishna on the higher planets in previous incarnations, they're called the Devis. And third, the Nitya Priyas. Goswami said Lord Chaitanya could not reveal such esoteric subject matter if there was no qualified hearer. So Jiva Goswami has given all this in a confidential manner. So Jiva Goswami was afraid that unqualified persons would become in contact with this subject matter and cause disturbance. Therefore, Jiva Goswami has written in such a way that qualified people could understand and unqualified people would be kept outside of the subject matter. Therefore, he wrote, I'm writing something for myself and something for others. For unqualified disciples, he wrote, supporting the theory of married relationship in Braj, Swakiya, and for the qualified, he wrote describing Parakiya. No? So sometimes it looks that Jiva Goswami had a different opinion to Rupa Goswami, but when the acharyas after Jiva Goswami, like Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, when they discussed the subject matter, they not supported Jiva Goswami because they understand Jiva Goswami wrote according to time, place, and circumstances. Rather, they supported the original conception of Rupa Goswami. No? So, if some acharya appears to speak differently from the previous acharyas, then we must understand really there cannot be any difference of opinion. If there is so, then we have to give some reconciliation. Why? Okay, therefore we always need sadhu, shastra, guru. Always need living guru to understand the previous acharyas. Okay. So, Jiva Goswami was very afraid that distortions in understanding would cause chaos, therefore he wrote in a particular way. No? Therefore you should not speak the Siddhanta to unqualified persons. Okay. Gurudev had many disciples, no? They would speak very high subject matters. But Gurudev never liked such discussion by unqualified persons. So Gopal Guru Goswami said, you should not discuss this in front of unqualified persons. So who are the Nitya Priyas? So like Krishna, the Nitya Priyas in Braja, the abode of all good qualities, Radha and Chandravali are prominent amongst the Nitya Priyas. Okay? I think Nitya Priya is used here instead of Nitya Siddha because Nitya Siddha generally means one type of soul. But Radharani, Chandravali, these are not souls, these are direct manifestations of the Swarup Shakti. Therefore, for more clarity, the word Nitya Priya has been used rather than the word Nitya Siddha. For example, Lalita, Vishaka, Radhika, Chandravali, they are not souls, right? They are Krishna's own Parashakti. So, they are Nitya, which means they are a manifestation of Chit Shakti. They are beyond time and space. They're in the spiritual world, they serve Krishna with the 64 arts. Okay. Here he is explained in the commentary of Swarup Damodar Goswami. What are the names of the various Nitya Priya gopis? And where are they mentioned? Scriptures such as the Skanda Puran, the Prahlad Samhita have mentioned Radha, Chandravali, Vishaka, Lalita, Shama, Padma, Saibya, Bhadrika, Tara, Vichitra, Gopali, Danishta, and Pali. Another name of Chandravali is Somata. Right. And Radhika is also known as Gandharva. Braj gopis such as Kanjanakshi, Manorama, Mangala, Bimala, Lila, Krishna, Sari, Visarada, Taravali, Chakorakshi, Shankari, and Kumkuma are famous in this world. These are all the Nitya Priyas. What is their relationship with each other? All these gopis we mentioned are called Yuteshwaris, group leaders. We already mentioned before, Yutiki and Ayotiki. The group leaders, they're in charge of different groups of gopis. They are not one or two groups. There are hundreds and hundreds of such groups. No? And in each group there are hundreds of thousands of beautiful gopis. All of the gopis we mentioned before, from Radhika to Kumkuma, right? These are all Yuteshwaris. Vishaka, Lalita, Padma and Sabya have been described more elaborately than others. They are more prominent. Amongst these, the 8 girlfriends of Radhika, the Astasakis, have been called Pradhan because they are most prominent, most fortunate. So Vijay asked, then Vishaka, Lalita, Padma and Sabya are Yuteshwaris. Why they have not been described separately? No. Even though, then Gopal Guru Goswami says, even though they're qualified, like Vishaka, Lalita, they're qualified to act as independent nayakas, girl heroes, and they can have direct relation with Krishna separately. Still, they're so much enchanted by the moods of, for example, Radhika. They give up that position of being separate, and they give up that position to serve Radhika. No? Right? And some give up that position to serve Chandravali or other Yuteshwaris. So they're qualified to be separate group leaders, but they give up that position because they find more happiness, for example, in arranging the meeting of Radha Krishna, like Lalita. I've heard Lalita has a separate gun, a subgroup. Goswami says Radharani is prominent amongst the group leaders, the Yuteshwaris. Some of the gopis in her group are attracted to Lalita's special mood. They call themselves Lalita Gan. Others are Vishaka Gan. So each of the Astasakis have their own group, own servants. So in the line of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, we would like to think ourselves as followers of Lalita, servants of Radharani. If one is very fortunate, one can acquire the qualification to enter Srimati Lalita's group. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Lalita Saki Ayoga Kinkari Vinoda Parichadai. No? I am the unqualified servant of Lalita Saki. So Lalita Saki controls the manjaris who want to serve Radhika. Where are these names found? The Padma Puran, Skandu Puran, Uttarakhand of the Bhavishya Puran. Many names are mentioned in the Sattvata Tantras. Why the names are not mentioned in the Bhagavatam? Oh, then Gopal Guru Goswami explains a very sweet thing. You look everywhere in Bhagavatam, no direct mention of the name of Radhika is given. No. So Gopal Goswami says intelligent and high-class devotees can see each verse refers to which gopi. They can understand there is no necessity of mentioning the names of each gopi. Unqualified persons would just misuse that knowledge. Qualified person understand according to their qualification. This knowledge should be understood through Guru Parampara. If everything was in the book, why would you need a Guru? Therefore, everything is not revealed in Scripture. In this way, question and answer went a long time. And Vijay began thinking all this, the 96 types of Nayak, hero, the 360 types of heroines. We'll talk about that tomorrow in more detail. Okay, squirrel is coming back. Not for long. So, as he be contemplating all this, he became absorbed in ecstasy. And when he went home, the same thing he had seen the previous night, where he directly saw with his eyes some spruti, some manifestation of Golok, now he was seeing in the screen of his heart. So it was coming the stage of constant remembrance. Okay, so today's class we had some interruptions. So I'm sorry for that. So on Monday, we hear a little bit about chapter 33. Madhura-rasa-vicara, Radharani Surup, the 5 types of Sakis, Radharani Sakis, the 5 types, and the different messengers. Okay, we already heard about Krishna's Surup, the different moods of Krishna and the 5 assistants of Krishna. Can you remember them? The Cheta, the Vidusaks, like the Pitamadans, the Priyanamasaka. So Krishna have his 5 type of assistants for nourishing the Madhurya Lila. Radharani also have her 5 type of Sakis. Krishna has his 2 type of messengers, the Swayamdut and the Aptadut. Radharani also has her messengers. So this gradually, by hearing all this, we can get some nice conception in our mind. Of course, now it's theoretically, but just to hear this theory also makes so much impression in the heart. Gurudev will give example. Many times we sit in Katha, we cannot understand. But don't worry, some impression is going in. Just like one time, our Param Gurudev, Sri Bhakti Pragyan Kesav Goswami Maharaj, he had a very dear god brother named Seva Vigraha Prabhu, Narahari Seva Vigraha. So he became very sick, Narahari Prabhu. So it was like he was about to die, so he could not digest anything. No digestion. So of course, no digestion, then you cannot eat, you cannot take any nutrients from the food. He became very ill. So they went to a famous Ayurvedic doctor. So the doctor looked at Narahari and said, his medicine is 1 huge spoon of ghee in the evening, and in the morning another huge spoon of ghee. Then of course, Param Gurudev said, what type of doctor are you? He cannot even digest water, and you want to give him a big spoon of ghee? It will just pass right through him. And the doctor said, yes, but not all. 99% will pass. And 1% of the ghee will coat the intestines, go inside, and give strength. And the morning spoon, then 98% will go through, but 2% will be absorbed. So this is our theory on spiritual life. Even though all these chapters, we can't even stay awake when we chant japa, then how are we going to understand all this? But don't worry, 1% is going in. We're hearing, right? And hopefully some good students are there. They're hearing, then they're reading. Maybe they hear again, they read again, 2-3 times, they read Jaiva-Dharma again and again. 1%, 2%, 3%, 5%, 10%. Then gradually, full theoretical understanding, that theoretical understanding will also give realization. Okay? Okay, so we'll hear all this. Very nice, Radharani Swarup. It's also described more detail in Chaitanya Charitamrita. And also Ramananda Roy Samvad, that is Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila chapter 8. All discussion of Radhika Swarup. Okay, so thank you very much. So Monday, I was thinking of giving this class tomorrow, but I feel a little some sickness coming on, so better a little rest and take it easy, be careful. Okay, so everyone read again chapter 32, and do some homework, preemptive strike, little read chapter 33 to prepare the mind and heart. Okay, so the day after tomorrow, same time, go Premanandi. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare, Nitai Gaura Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Nitai Gaura Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo. Go Premanandi, Hari Bo.